Outside of town, they found a building, a warehouse that didn't show up on any map. Inside were bodies, a staggering number of them. I was nervous about meeting Claire's family. She said there were a lot of them, so I was on edge the entire drive. I stopped on their porch longer than I needed to. Through the door, I could hear voices overlapping. Laughter, plates clinking. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just a lot of people." She smiled. "You'll get used to it." Through the door, I could hear overlapping voices. Laughter cutting over laughter. Someone calling from one room to another. I checked the window beside the door just to get a sense of how many people were inside. Claire noticed. "You don't have to stay the whole night," she said. "You can leave whenever." "I know," I said. I still waited a second longer before opening the door. When it opened, warm air and noise came out together. Inside, it took me a moment to orient myself. I had to pause and take everything in. I counted without thinking. 7. Out of habit, I scanned for the exits. "See?" Claire said quietly. "It's okay." Her mom reached me before I could answer. "You must be freezing," she said, while hugging me. "Come in." Someone took my coat. Someone else handed me a hot drink. I nodded in thanks and smiled. People introduced themselves. I asked a couple of them to repeat their names, and they obliged. Chairs scraped the floor. Plates moved. Someone bumped my elbow and apologized. I noticed the table as I sat down. There were more plates and chairs than we needed. I leaned toward Claire. "Are more people coming in?" She glanced at the table. "Maybe later." "For dinner?" "For Christmas," she said. "It's normal." The food was good, hearty and warm. The kind that really fills you up. But most of them barely touched theirs and just kept talking. By the time we finished eating, I remembered everyone's name. The grandmother stood. She didn't ask for attention. She didn't need to. She talked about a winter that went on too long, about crops that didn't come back, about a time when the town realized no one was coming to help them. Partway through her story, the front door opened. A man stepped inside, stamped his feet, and took off his coat. "Oh good," someone said. "You made it." He took a seat at the table. The grandmother didn't stop talking. She spoke about a famine, about how people had to learn what really mattered. The door opened again. And again. Each time, Someone came in. No one really batted an eye. They took their seats. Places were already there. I leaned toward Claire. Who are these people? She kept her eyes forward. They're from town. Why are they here? She hesitated. They always do come. By the time her grandma finished, every chair at the table was filled. She looked around the room. We learned, she said, how to fight the hunger. Her eyes met mine. And that nothing should be wasted. Claire stood. Let's move into the living room. No one argued. The tree was already lit. One chair sat across from it. It was older than the rest, with dark marks worn deep into the wood. That one's for you, her mom said. I didn't sit. I think we should go, I said. The room didn't react right away. Her grandma tilted her head. We're not done. Claire stepped closer. Please, she said. Just sit down. For what? I asked. Her mom answered. So we can get through the winter. Someone touched my arm. Then another. Then more. I tried to pull away and felt myself being cradled instead. Like they didn't want me to fall. Sit, someone said. The room closed in, warm breath, hands everywhere. I shook my head. I didn't trust my voice anymore. They spoke to each other over me, short phrases, calm, like they were deciding where to set something down. My chest locked up. I couldn't get a full breath. Please, I said. They adjusted when I shook, shifted their hands to keep my weight centered. That's when my legs gave out. I didn't plan it. I just couldn't stay upright anymore. Someone swore. Another voice told me to be careful. For a moment, no one had me the way they meant to. I remember the floor rushing up. I remember the air leaving my lungs. After that, it was all a blur. Movement, space. I was near the hallway without knowing how. Someone reached for me and missed. I don't remember standing up. I just remember the door. My hand went into my pocket. The key slipped and hit the floor. I remember thinking, I wasn't going to get them in time. I opened the door. Cold air hit my face. I ran. I didn't stop until I was in the car. I locked the doors and drove without looking back. I went straight to the police. I talked until my throat hurt. They wrote things down. Asked me to slow down. The next day, they called. The house was empty. No furniture. No food. No sign anyone had been there for a while. Outside of town, they found a building, a warehouse that didn't show up in any of their maps. Inside were bodies, a staggering number of them. I went home after that. I turned on every light and sat at the table. My phone buzzed. Claire. Then I heard voices outside. Car doors closing. Footsteps on the porch. I looked through the window, and they were all there. Claire, her mom, people I remembered from the table, standing like guests who arrived early. Claire smiled when she saw me. "Come on," she said. "It's cold out here." They still play the song every year. You play it in the radio, in stores, drifting out of someone else's house. I can't seem to shake it off. When I was a kid, my mom loved Christmas. She made it loud, decorations everywhere, and music on repeat. That song came on a lot. I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. It sounded like any other Christmas song, and I don't really understand what it was about. It was playing the night she died. I woke up because I heard something in the hallway. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Echoing throughout the house. I thought they were sneaking presents. I remember smiling before I even got out of bed. The tree lights were on, red and green, spilling down the hall. My mom was standing there. Someone was with her. Tall, wide, red fabric hanging loose around the shoulders. For a second, I tried to make sense of what I'm looking at. I saw my mom. Her neck twisted. Her mouth was open, trying to say something. Arms flailing manically. The figure got her by the throat. The sound of flesh tearing, and a low, numbing hum as it devoured her. I stood there and watched. I don't know how long. But I remember the smell more than anything. Metallic. Thick. It filled my lungs and stuck to my throat. When her legs gave out, it slowly dropped her with a light thud. That's when it noticed me. I ran back to my room and locked the door. In the morning, my dad sat at the edge of my bed. He told me she'd been sick for a long time, that she never wanted to worry us, that sometimes people hide how bad it is. I told him that wasn't what I saw. I told him she was standing in the hallway, that someone was with her, that her neck was twisted, and how I saw everything. He stared at me like he didn't recognize me. I kept talking. I couldn't stop. I told him about the suit, about the way it held her, about how it looked at me. That's when he got angry. He stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. He told me to stop. Told me not to say things like that. Asked me what was wrong with me. I started crying. That made him yell even louder. He said she was gone and I was making it worse. That I didn't know what I was talking about. That I needed to stop telling these stories. After that, no one asked me anything. No one brought it up again. I met my wife in December. She loves Christmas, the way my mom did. Decorations everywhere. Music on repeat. That song plays every time. But last night, I woke up because I heard movement in the hallway. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. My heart dropped while I still processing what was happening. The tree was on. Red and green lights stretched into the dark. She was standing there. She was with someone. Not wearing a suit. Just a shape too close to her. Tall and wide. The exact same thing I saw before. Her neck was twisted. Her hands kept moving. Weak, but desperately reaching out. One final struggle before it slowly dropped down. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Every part of me that had learned how to stay quiet came undone at once. I wanted to call her name. I wanted to move. I wanted to do something. But I couldn't. The song was playing in the living room. Soft. Cheerful. I watched while it devoured her. The sound of flesh tearing. The low hum. And that metallic scent. There was a light thud as my wife slid down the floor. That thing looked at me the same way it did before. All I remember was the soft sound and the tree lights blinking. At the hospital, the doctor explained. He said her test showed signs she'd been sick for a long time. But sometimes the strain doesn't show until it's too late. That people can look fine right up until the end. He said it plainly, like he said it before. But I know what I saw. The next year, I didn't decorate. No tree, no lights, no music. My daughter noticed. She asked where the ornaments were. But the living room looked empty. Her Christmas felt sad. Christmas. She loved it. Loved everything about it. So I gave in. Not much, just enough. Small tree, string of lights. I told myself it wouldn't matter. She smiled. On Christmas Eve, I sat with her until she fell asleep. She hums, drifting off to sleep. I leave the door open. The house goes quiet. Then I hear it. Music. Soft. Coming from the hallway. No. No, no. No. My heart was pounding, and my head started to hurt. I wanted my feet down before I knew what to do. Every thought I have buried came rushing back at once. My hands are shaking. Can't get enough air. I see her standing there. My daughter. In the hallway. The tree light spills red and green across her face. She looks up at me, confused. Daddy? She asks. I cross the space between us and pull her into my arms. I check her neck, her shoulders, her hands. She's warm, breathing, alive. I had a bad dream, she says. I couldn't sleep. I carried her back to bed. I sat with her and didn't let go until I'm sure she was asleep. The house stayed quiet after that. Nothing else happened. In the morning, she opened her presents and laughs. We ate breakfast in the table and the day went on. Looks like it's a good Christmas this year. And I was alone. I think I heard it.